On November 9th, the world received two images that no one was ready for. The James Webb Space Telescope and the Virtual Telescope Project released the latest photographs of the interstellar object known as 3IR Atlas. What they revealed left scientists speechless. In these images, the object appeared as a compact, brilliant point of light without the faintest trace of a tail. There was no sign of outgassing, no cloud of dust or gas, nothing that should accompany an object losing billions of tons of material near the sun. But the most unsettling part was that it looked exactly the same as it had back in July, when the Hubble Space Telescope last photographed it. For an object that should have already lost more than 5 billion tons of mass due to solar heating, its unchanged appearance seemed to challenge every known law of cometary physics. To some, it was simply an anomaly. To others, it was something far greater. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb called it a wake-up call from the cosmos. If these images truly showed what they appeared to show, a body accelerating through the solar system without ejecting anything, then 3IR Atlas might not be a comet at all. It might be something built. It all began when astronomers noticed something strange in late October. As 3IR Atlas approached its closest point to the Sun, its perihelion, the object began to accelerate instead of slowing down. According to the narration, this was considered impossible. NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory reported that Atlas deviated from its predicted orbit by 4 arcseconds, a tiny angle that, at a distance of 203 million kilometers, corresponded to a shift of tens of thousands of kilometers. Something enormous appeared to be pushing it off course. The calculations stunned mission analysts. The object was reportedly accelerating outward, away from the Sun, at 0.22 millimeters per second squared, while simultaneously drifting sideways at nearly the same rate. In a single month, this translated into a displacement of more than 80 kilometers, far too large to be explained by random fluctuations. The question quickly spread through observatories from Hawaii to Chile. What invisible force was steering this object? The usual explanation, outgassing, did not fit. To produce that level of thrust, Atlas would have had to vent roughly 1/6 of its total mass, equivalent to about 5 billion tons of vaporized gas, creating a brilliant halo visible even through small backyard telescopes. Yet the sky remained empty. There was no cloud, no tail, no vapor, nothing. To illustrate how unusual this appeared, the Virtual Telescope Project released a side-by-side comparison between 3IR Atlas and Comet Lemon, an ordinary comet photographed under nearly identical conditions just days earlier. Lemon behaved exactly as expected, displaying a radiant, ghostly tail streaming away from the Sun, perfectly shaped by solar radiation. Atlas, however, remained nothing more than a sharp, compact, unblemished point of light. It was like comparing a living organism to a statue, one radiating motion and energy, the other frozen and silent. According to the narration, for Atlas to accelerate without producing debris would be like watching a rocket fly without exhaust. The physics did not merely seem inadequate, they appeared to collapse. When Avi Loeb reportedly ran the calculations, he concluded that if the acceleration were truly caused by outflowing gases, they would have produced a glow brighter than the full moon. Yet the images from November 5th showed nothing of the sort. The object's brightness, color, and symmetry all remained eerily constant. The Virtual Telescope Project's director, Gianluca Masi, reportedly described it as the most baffling observation he had ever made because even instruments designed to detect the faintest traces of dust returned the same result, 0. When the data reached Harvard, Webb and his team began reconstructing the physics behind the reported acceleration. Using Atlas's estimated mass of 33 billion tons, nearly 1 million times heavier than Oumuamua, they concluded that no known natural process could account for the force acting upon it. Solar radiation pressure was far too weak. Outgassing appeared invisible. Gravitational interactions with planets were impossible at that distance. That seemed to leave only one possibility, an unknown mechanism. We have to accept what the data is showing us, Webb reportedly said. If the physics fails, the theory must adapt. But few were ready to accept the implications. The conclusion seemed almost too extraordinary to contemplate. According to the narration, the numbers described more than motion. They suggested intention. The acceleration was not random. It appeared smooth, consistent, and perfectly aligned with the Sun's position, as though someone or something had deliberately calibrated it. The last time astronomers saw behavior even remotely similar, the narration claimed, was with Oumuamua. This time, however, the effect appeared stronger, faster, and far more deliberate. As more observations arrived from telescopes around the world, a pattern seemed to emerge. The narration claimed that 3Io Atlas was not breaking just one rule, it was breaking all of them. Its orbit was almost perfectly aligned with the ecliptic plane, within 5 degrees of the path followed by Earth and the other planets. AVI Loeb reportedly compared such an alignment to hitting a cosmic bullseye in total darkness. Then came what the narration called the jet anomaly, a burst of material that appeared to shoot directly toward the sun, the opposite of what astronomers normally expect from a comet. Under ordinary circumstances, solar radiation pushes dust away from the sun, creating tails that always point outward.